Hi, really welcome the Council's action under moving traffic enforcement for action in Armitage Bridge and also in Flockton, where we got weight restrictions that are regularly flouted by heavy goods vehicles. This will involve the use of automatic number plate recognition cameras, I think, as it happens. So it's really good that that's happening, and you will, of course, recall that that was in the Green Party's budget amendment in 23-24 for those two specific locations. So thank you very much for taking that up. Just want to know really from Councillor Hawkins about the public engagement, because we're sure that the public in both Armitage Bridge and Flockton will be really pleased to respond to those initiatives.
Yeah, it's not within highways. We're dealing with this process within the transport portfolio, so it's me, not Councillor Hawkins. So the sites that are being used as a demonstration as part of the application process will have a consultation process attached to them. You will get an email. I've already answered an earlier question to say you should get an explanation email. The sites have been selected on a technical basis by officers to give demonstration of how we would use the powers should the Department for Transport confer those powers on us. They are not necessarily sites that would be carried forward, nor is the application of powers restricted to those sites in the future. So we're not at the stage yet where we're looking at how to specifically use those powers more broadly across Kirklees, but we did need to get an application in, and that's why it's been, and the deadline for the application was quite short, and the DFT were not minded to extend the deadline. So it's important that we got the application in, and in due course, when sites are considered for permanent installations, there will be a proper consultation programme with councillors and with residents at that stage.
Supplementary, Councillor Cooper.
Yeah, the sites were specifically mentioned in the press release, so expectations of those residents will be raised by this. So, yeah, obviously we're keen that the council does all it can to ensure that that you're able to follow through on action.
It's absolutely right that those sites have been named as sites for consultation as part of the application process, and that's why it will be particularly useful when we get the email out to all councillors to explain the application process so that they have a full understanding of what's going on there. I mean, the sites that you mentioned, I mean, you said they're part of a budget amendment in the past. The powers, it was only possible to try and take on the powers fairly recently through legislation change. I think this is possibly the second opportunity, so we've not been particularly lax, but I think now it is important that we take on those powers so that we can, as I say, confer the benefits that they allow us to confer on the residents of Kirklees, and also more broadly so that we're in line with our partners across West Yorkshire as we move towards things like bus franchising, which will bring additional benefit to a lot of our residents. It would be nice if we're able to enforce people misusing bus lanes, for example. But there are lots of opportunities for us to use these powers to benefit residents, and I look forward to us being able to do so, hopefully towards the end of this year, but dependent on external bodies to pass our application.
Thank you, Councillor.